Yeah, hello. Welcome to Monday Morning People. Let's enjoy the hymn first. And can it be that I should gain an interesting died for me who caused his pain from me to the amazing love. How can it be that thou art for me? Amazing love. How can and thou He left his father's throne above, so free, so infinite his grace, kept himself for all but love, and for Adam's helpless race. This mercy, oh, immense and free, for my God, it found out me. This mercy, oh, immense and free, for all my God, it found out me. Long my imprisoned spirit lay, I found in sin and latest night. Crying I diffuse a quick spirit. I woke the down, conflict with light. My chains fell off, my heart was free. I rose, went forth, and followed thee. My chains fell off, my heart was free. I rose, and forth, no condemnation now I dread. Jesus and oh, Emilia Desmond, thank you for joining me. Smile, alive in my living and clothed in righteousness divine. But I approach the eternal throne, dim the crown through Christ my own. But I approach the eternal throne and claim a crown through Christ my own. Yes, that's the popular hymn, and can it be? Emilia Desmond, thank you for joining me. This morning, what on Monday Morning PP, where we study something from the book of Psalms, Proverbs, or Ecclesiastes, we want to look at Psalm 3, another theme, He heard me. This was David when he fled from his son Absalom. You know, Absalom had launched a revolt, a rebellion against David. He had done what we call a coup d'etat, and was been able to convince people in Jerusalem to take over the kingship from his father David. And David had to flee to exile. Now, when David was fleeing into exile, he was supposed to cross a certain river, because if he didn't cross over to the other side, if Absalom's troops had pursued him, they would have gotten him and his men who were fled with him and destroyed him. So, but David had to pass the night by the side where Absalom was before he would cross over, and so he was afraid, and so he prayed this prayer. And essentially, what he was saying was that God heard him. That is why the theme for this morning was that He heard me. David wrote this psalm, and what happened was that he was able to cross over successfully the following day. He slept at the other side and crossed over the other side, and Absalom didn't pursue him that evening. Why? Because God had led Absalom astray. God had led another counselor called Hushai to tell Absalom that, oh, don't worry about pursuing David this evening, just abandon him. Meanwhile, Ahithophel, who was David's counselor and who betrayed David and joined Absalom, and who knew David very well, had told Absalom that pursue your father this evening, so that he will not even cross over to the other side. But God made the counsel of Ahithophel foolishness. He convinced Absalom not to listen to Ahithophel, and because of that, Ahithophel felt betrayed and went to hang himself. And the following morning, he and David and his men who were able to cross over to the other side. And so David made this psalm to show that God heard his prayer and cried. So I read for you Psalm 3. It says, a psalm of David when he fled from Absalom his son. The psalm begins. It says, Lord, how have they increased who trouble me? Many are they who rise up against me. Many are they who say of my soul that there is no help for me in God. There comes a time when sometimes people you are very familiar with, people you have helped. This was David's own son, Absalom, joining forces with his chief advisor Ahithophel to rebel against him, because they were all offended at him one way or the other. And it says that how have they increased those who trouble me? There are a lot of times like that. Sometimes when you are going through crisis or you are going through something and you expect the people around you to rather be of help to you, they even fight you more. Job, when he was going through what he went through, his 3 friends came to him and told him that you have sinned. That's why you are going through this. So instead of comforting him, they rather condemned him. So sometimes you can have people where you don't expect people to attack you from, they attack you. It says, how are they increased? And the people were saying that there is no help for him in God, because all the people knew that David had God as his stronghold, that when everybody was failing him, God will be there for him. So now what the people were saying was that even God cannot help him, and that is what they meant, but there is no help for him in God, because they all believed that God was punishing David because he had sinned. Now the psalmist continues, it says, but you, O Lord, are the shield for me. So this is David's confession. It says, you, O Lord, are the shield for me. You are my glory and the one who lifts up my head. And then he said, I cried to the Lord with my voice, and he heard me from his holy hill of Zion. So David says he cried to God with his voice to hear him from his holy hill. He cried with his voice in his desperation, and God heard him. My prayer for you and I is that when we cry to God in our times of distress and challenges, may God hear us. It says, I lay down and slept. I awoke, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people who have set themselves against me all around. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for you have struck all my enemies on the cheekbone. This reference here is a reference to Ahithophel. His counsel was not accepted by Absalom, and it was God striking him, because the Bible says concerning Ahithophel that during those times his counsel was as a counsel when God spoke. So whatever he advised kings, they listened, but for the first time his counsel was not taken. And he was so upset that he went to hang himself. And David said, you have struck my enemies on the cheekbone. He continued and says, you have broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Your blessing is upon your people. So it says, you have broken the teeth of the ungodly. May God break the teeth of every ungodly who has gone ahead to speak lies about you, to try and mess up things for you, where you are supposed to have favor, to create the impression that, oh, this young man, he doesn't respect. He's a proud boy, he's arrogant, he's this, he's that, he doesn't deserve it, he's that, he's this. May God go and strike all of them upon your cheekbone. And the very God whom they think cannot come to your aid, may he come to the aid of you and me this week, as we go through this week and in the months left in the year. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Thanks for joining me. Join me tomorrow same time on Time with the Prophet, where we study something from the prophetic books. Tomorrow we'll look at portions of Isaiah 54, specifically Isaiah 54 verse 7, that area. Thanks for joining me. Have a great week, Emilia and the rest. God bless you all for watching. Bye for now.